I'm sure most of you are familiar with the classic copy and paste 5v5 hero shooter game template that almost every game in popularity has right now. And I'm not really talking about games like Overwatch and Paladins where you focus more on game's objectives and you don't really care about dying that much. I'm talking about those play your life or spectate games. You know, like Valorant and CS2 and Rainbow. There are an abundance of these games in today's modern gaming era, and I think we can all agree that we don't really need any more of them. Well, that's where our new friends NetEase and Bad Guitar Studio come in. They said, hey, you guys don't need any more new 5v5 hero shooters? We got one for you, don't you worry. FragPunk. The topic of today's video is a new 5v5 hero shooter in its closed beta phase currently until October 21st, but this video will probably be out after then. So I played this game for a little bit, both by myself and with some friends, and I got to get my own opinion on it. Let me begin telling you guys this game's unique value proposition. Let me tell you why this game tried to present itself as something different than Valorant and CS2 and all these other 5v5 hero shooters. FragPunk's standout feature is the shard cards. These are cards that basically offer a variety of effects, like allowing players to glide across the map, increase jump height, or countering abilities such as flashbangs. There's also some simpler ones like health increases, damage increases, weapon increases, stuff like that. And depending on your performance in each round, you'll get a certain amount of shards that you can then invest in cards when the round ends with your team. I guess this feature kind of does add a strategic layer not seen in other games like Valorant and CS2, where the gameplay is more rigidly defined by, you know, player abilities and map design, and that's really about it. Another thing that this game has that kind of differentiates itself is the ability to change your weapon and character loadouts mid-match. So like I could just be playing, let's say, Nitro for a whole bunch, and then I'm like, you know what, mid-game I want to switch to another Lancer. Lancer is just the word for heroes in this game. You know, there's heroes, champions, brawlers, Lancers, you get it. Which actually is pretty cool. Although I will say it's a little annoying because I have to lock in on insta-locking characters more now that I want to play. Now that you kind of have a basic understanding of the game, let me talk about my experience on the closed beta. First of all, forget absolutely everything I said. This game is not different from Valorant or CS at all. The 5v5 tactical round-based combat with objective-focused gameplay is so repetitive, and there is absolutely no room in the modern gaming scene for this game. Yep, that's right, there's a bomb defusal mode where one team is attacking and tries to plant a bomb on one of two sites, and the other team defense. The game also heavily relies on aiming down sights, features that are overly familiar. Also, after a few matches, you kind of realize the lack of diversity with weapons in the game. I don't know, each weapon just kind of feels like a reskin of the other one. Just some are fully automatic and some are shotguns and some are single shot. I don't know. Even with the addition of new maps and Lancers, the core experience of the game doesn't really feel any different from Valorant. I mean, there's not really a lot to say here. I kind of covered it all in that brief 1 minute of shit talking I just did. It just feels like a copy and paste of the other hero shooters out there. It does have some redeeming qualities that are worth talking about, and after I lay out these redeeming qualities, we can ultimately decide together if this game is going to have a place in today's modern gaming scene. So as I talked about earlier, there's the shard card system, and I would say it's a pretty unique element of the game, and you don't really find this in a lot of other games. I mean, it would be one thing if these cards just made minor changes that didn't really change the course of the game, but there are some cards that can seriously make your team win a round. Like, even if you have some brain-dead, thumb-sucking 5-year-olds, like, some cards are seriously overpowered. There's cards that can block off sights, make it hard to see. There's a whole bunch of cards. Another thing that I actually kind of like about this game is the art style and the character design. The game feels vibrant and has a very unique and well-designed art style. I mean, you can look at the game and you can tell it's FragPunk by the art style. And that is honestly a pretty big factor in what makes a game like popular, what makes a game big, what makes a game really like resonate with someone. Because if you see like an animation of Valorant or Overwatch, you can tell the game just by the graphics, just by what's going on. just by the way someone is animated. Like, you can show a video of a character that doesn't actually exist in Overwatch, but animated in the style of Overwatch, and you can kind of pinpoint that it's Overwatch. Same thing with Valorant, even CS, even Rainbow Six Siege. And I really do like the theme of the game. It's like very punk and pink and green, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on the screen. Also, another thing that is honestly really important, at least to me, I don't know about you guys, but when I got on the closed beta, there is no in-app purchases whatsoever. And I know you're probably like, oh, it's the closed beta, dude. Of course there's not going to be any in-app purchases. Yeah, well, okay. But I really hope this carries over to the real game, because in the closed beta, it was actually really easy to get rewards, and it wasn't too easy to the fact that anyone could just buy any gun pack or item pack they wanted, but it felt like you could actually work to gain credits to buy stuff without having to just whip out your wallet and spend $80 on a fucking knife. Some other games out there, especially ones that I play, really have a just god-awful reward system that makes it like horrible to play, like that makes it not fun to play at all. There's nothing worse in a game than a bad reward system. And I think, you know what? Fine. It's a game. It's a video game in 2024. Of course, there's going to be some sort of in-app purchases, and sure, they can add that. If they hold on to this idea of actually being able to work to buy gun packs without having to either grind or spend money, is honestly one of the best things you can do for a game. And I think ultimately you'll lose the profit from in-app purchases, but in the long run it'll be better because more people would want to play your game, and you'll get paid more for buying the game or some shit. I don't know how that works. I don't know if this reward system is gonna remain in the full release. So, I mean, main points, too similar to Valorant, with redeeming qualities that offer a glimpse of potential for FragPunk. I encourage you guys to participate in any future betas they might have, or maybe the game's gonna release in 2 weeks, I don't know. The game's definitely worth checking out, and it's not going to be another one of those games that just end up flying under the radar. I definitely think it will have a heavy landing, but we need to see together if they will be able to keep it in the scene. Because honestly, if you sit down and think about it, when was the last time there was a game that released that wasn't either a one-hit wonder or a complete flop? If you think about the games that are popular nowadays, I can guarantee you more than 95% of those were created over 8 years ago. I mean, we got people still playing Rainbow Six Siege and Dead by Daylight and Fortnite and CS and Overwatch 2 and, Overwatch 1 made 2. Elden Ring is really the only game I can think of that had a somewhat lasting popularity since its release. Anyways, anything else I really have to say from this point on is just going to be filler to drag the video out longer, which I don't really care to do because then it makes me have to sit in Premiere and chop this down more. So thank you guys for watching. I have hope for the game, but I don't really think I'm going to play it that much unless they end up overhauling a couple of the things that I ended up talking badly about in this video. But it's not like the other games on my channel that I've spoken about that have absolutely ruined my week by playing them.